happens when you put together some of the brightest 16, 17-year-olds who are all passionate about STEM and give them the kind of research environment which has been reserved either for the university level or until recently only found abroad? Well, that is exactly what's been unfolding at the Indian Institute of Science in Bengaluru as part of the RSI initiative in collaboration with CEE.
Measured from above the atmosphere.
A select group of class 11 students from across India, they just spend their summer not preparing for exams, rather working alongside some of the finest scientists, researchers and mentors. And today, as they present their final papers, they're not bringing the summer program to a close. They are taking what could perhaps be their first steps towards the world of scientific research. But before we get into that, let's quickly rewind back to 6 weeks and see where it all began. At a time when India is racing towards becoming a global science and technology powerhouse, the search for the country's brightest young minds began on the 31st of May at the Indian Institute of Science in Bengaluru.
I really feel elated being selected for this program, and across the next 6 weeks, I really look forward to immerse myself into the intellectually stimulating experience with the RSI faculty, the IISc professors, and my peers as well.
I chose aeronautics and astronautics. So it's like in high school, you don't really learn about that stuff a lot. So I think learning this at a higher level is what I'm looking forward to, and the one-on-one mentorship is really good.
An initiative in collaboration with the Center for Excellence in Education brought more than 30 students under one roof.
The model system we've selected includes Fe2+ and potassium permanganate.
6-week intensive summer science, technology, engineering and mathematics STEM research and enrichment program created for Indian secondary school students of exceptionally strong academic ability and background.
I applied in the fields of molecular biology and biotechnology, and I would love to research about anything in the area of genetics, as that's my primary interest. The fact that the mentorship is one-on-one, like a personal mentor assigned to one student, it really makes the whole process a lot more immersive for one student, so I'm looking forward to that form of mentorship.
So this galaxy has this feature at this wavelength, this one has it.
And now we have with us Mr. Sanjay Palsamudru. Welcome to our story, sir. The one who has initiated the process of bringing RSI to India from the US. And let us listen to his journey in his own words, what motivated him to get the program to India in partnership with IISc and CEE.
Well, my origins are very humble, and STEM played a very, very important role in my life. And it today, both personally and professionally, it has had a major influence. And secondly, my daughter got into this program 5 years ago, RSI MIT, and she underwent this program. It was life transforming.
Right.
So when we realized that there are so many dedicated, very good students from India who can benefit from this program, so I tried to actually take more students from India to RSI MIT, but there were limitations in terms of space, mentors, professors, availability. So it was not possible. So instead of taking students from India to MIT, I thought, why not bring the program so many more students in India can benefit? So that's when almost like 6-7 years ago, I started conversations with the Center for Excellence in Education and with IISc to see if they can partner together and bring this world-class reputed program from US to India. And that's where the origins of RSI program really began.
The same group of excited students who entered IISc 6 weeks ago, they're now putting the finishing touches to their papers that they will be presenting shortly in front of their peers, their mentors and the faculty. But beyond the research, something fundamental has changed with the students itself. It is evident in the confidence, in their curiosity, and in the perspective that they carry with them now. Let's take a closer look.
Traditional endoscopy is a long, painful procedure. It requires sedation.
Practical cell is said to be under stress. When there is a change in its external.
My aim is to identify and rectify these inconsistencies in the previous model.
This is what's called a fractal. A fractal is a shape that shows similarities.
This opportunity for students within India itself at IISc to really do cutting-edge research, and RSI India is allowing us to do that, right? I think that's really a fantastic thing. I mean, for me, it's very heartwarming to see that, and I feel like it is going to supercharge this next generation of researchers within India so that they can really transform the world, with all the different kinds of research that they're being exposed to here at IISc.
As the 2026 cohort presents the culmination of 6 weeks of research, they're also becoming part of a much larger story. RSI India draws inspiration from the Research Science Institute at MIT, widely regarded as one of the world's most prestigious summer research programs for high school students. It's built on the same philosophy of pairing exceptional young minds with cutting-edge research and close faculty mentorship. And some of those who have walked the original RSI MIT path are here today, offering a glimpse of what this journey can become. Well, it's not often that you get 3 batches of RSI under one roof. Today, we have with us Dr. Amy Silman, who was part of the very first cohort back in 1984. Kirtana attended in 2019 and Tanvi in 2020. Now, the way we talk about science has changed. The program itself has evolved, but what do you guys think has stayed constant throughout?
Yeah, as someone who was here in 2020, I think the world has changed a lot since then, but what stays constant in science is the spirit of innovation and learning how to pivot and address challenges as they come up and to communicate what you found with the world.
The world was very different in 1984 when I went. We were just beginning to have graphical user interface computers, but what I noticed is the friendships forming, and that's what I remember from my days at RSI, all the other students that I met who had the same love and passion for science that I did. And I see that here right now, and I think that's going to be constant no matter what year of RSI it is.
This is a very interesting time. We have these 4 timelines converging here from 1984 to 2020, 2019, and today at 2026. What message do you have for this particular batch, which has now gone out, but also for the next one? What's that one message that you want to give to the next batch?
Just keep learning, observe the world around you, pay attention to what problems there are that need to be solved. Think about them. How can you address these questions? How can you make the world a better place? The pandemic was solved through science. So many of our problems, scientists and engineers are working on. Just keep looking and learning and observing.
My message is keep at what you're doing. The world needs more people like you. I think collaborate, you can learn so much from your fellow peers in addition to your mentors and professors. And the world is changing, but be prepared to also alter your worldview, your thinking.
Adding to what Dr. Silman and Tanvi said, I think my addition would just be curious, be open-minded, and never say no to opportunities like this because you don't know in what ways it can change you. There are so many soft skills that you pick up besides the scientific skills of reading, writing. And over the 6 weeks, I've gotten to see these children grow, and I hope that more of them get the same opportunity in the future.
Beyond the research projects themselves, the setting plays an equally important role. Over 6 weeks, IISc becomes a living classroom where students experience firsthand the culture of asking questions, testing ideas, and learning from some of the country's leading researchers.
At the same time, IISc has been also one of the pioneers in trying to get the state-of-the-art infrastructure built in. We have been, or even now, we are one of the nodal institutes in the country where most state-of-the-art equipment are available for researchers to do. So that's why the student would have felt that whatever we need for our work is available in-house. And that in-house competence is something which IISc has always been proud of.
Absolutely, Professor Saini, because India has no shortage of talent.
Yes.
And if we have to export our talent outside rather than nurturing it here and creating that ecosystem, I mean, it is something that has to be taken a hard look at, and IISc is doing exactly that, creating that ecosystem where we can also nurture the talent at a very malleable age.
And unfortunately, India has become a culture of me. I mean, the ME stands for medicine and engineering. And we want to break that mold. So we really, at that one point, we thought we need to get students younger so they can understand that pure science is a great career. And I think it's all about, you can say once you get the taste of the blood, you really start liking it. So capturing them young, getting them young is always better because they are moldable. People who get more and more educated, they become more rigid in their thoughts, and that's a challenge which we need to fight. But yes, the issue which is there currently in our education, we do not give a lot of freedom of thought process. Actually, we discourage people from asking questions. Right. Students are not encouraged to ask questions. Where here we want them to ask questions. Here we want them to analyze situation, become more analytical. Don't become tied to the problem, right, but let the problem evolve with your thinking, and that's what IISc culture is all about.
These budding scientists also got an opportunity to attend the Palsamudram lecture series, named after the founder of the Palsamudram Trust, Sanjay Palsamudram, and its co-founder, Sangna Lakshmi. A platform where students directly converse with distinguished invited guest speakers. The Trust also partners with Step Up for India, an educational non-profit to design and scale early grade foundational literacy programs.
My organization is called Step Up for India, and it started 13 years ago when we were trying to help schools in the neighborhood figure out understand what their paucity is. And they all expressed a need to get better with English education. We have supported about 8 lakh students and across 5 states, and this year we are hoping to launch in 2 new states. So we work with strengthening the English education in primary school children, using the government school teachers, so train them, build their capacity while they are teaching. The program's selectivity extends well beyond admissions. Every student is carefully paired with mentors whose research aligns with their interests, ensuring that the experience is just as rigorous but deeply personal and intellectually rewarding. Getting talent that young, 16, 17-year-olds, who are still in the middle of finishing their school, they will have to go back to that standard curriculum that they'll have to get through. But getting the taste of the freedom of approach or freedom to approach science in a way which is not as generalized, but perhaps giving them the freedom to explore things beyond the standard. What has that been like?
So it's like I can tell you in one sentence for this question. So it's like IISc is known for science research. So, and everyone thinks that all are scientists here. So, and we feel that like these students, they already started thinking like a scientist after coming here. In these 6 weeks, we can see that actually they can put a hypothesis, they can have a research problem, and they can solve it.
After 6 weeks of intensive research, as the program draws to a close, the students are reunited with their parents to celebrate the work that they've accomplished and the community that they've built along the way.
I think what brings all of our students here, in fact, what brings the entire IISc together is the spirit of asking cool questions and, running experiments, failing, learning again, all in the hope of advancing science and doing something to improve the way that we live or explore in this world, right? I think that is what really unites all of us rigours, as we call them.
Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to go back to school after this. They've basically given us an excerpt of college life within 6 weeks, and I don't know how I'm going to adjust back to the school life.
A hands-on heat tolerance experiment with native
The participants arrived from different parts of the country, each with their own interests, ambitions and questions. All of those journeys converged at IISc. And while they share the same experience, what each student is taking away from it is uniquely their own.
It is without question that science has always fascinated me, but spending 6 weeks here at the Ivory Tower, the famous campus of IISc, which is the Indian Institute of Science, it has truly revolutionized the way I see science.
Here, research was fun. We enjoyed what we were doing and we enjoyed what we learned in the process. However, in the classroom, it is a lot more scary, and so I think it will make me view the science we learn in class a lot more empathetically because it is not getting its fair share of representation.
Behind every edition of RSI India is a larger ambition to create an ecosystem where curiosity is identified early, nurtured carefully, and allowed to flourish. It's a vision that continues to shape the program's future.
My parents instilled the value that education is the fastest path to advancement. And today I'm just very happy and proud. My family is here. I think RSI India has just begun. We should measure the success of it a decade from now. When you talk about nation building, people talk about roads, factories, manufacturing units, airports. Those are all important. That's infrastructure for the company. However, I feel the biggest infrastructure is investing in human capital, and that should begin very early in the game. And that is where RSI India comes into picture. We are putting the foundation for the young scholars and researchers from India. And talent is pretty much everywhere, but opportunity is not.
Not every takeaway from these 6 weeks can be captured in a research paper or measured in a laboratory. Some are found in conversations, collaborations, and the confidence that comes from stepping outside your comfort zone. Now that you guys are done with your research, you guys are done with presenting your papers, what is that one thing that you'll be taking back with you which has nothing to do with science?
I think one thing that I'll take back with me is realizing that the world is not as small as we think. Getting out of our comfort zone and spending time with people that we don't know anything for 6 long weeks made me view things from a lot of different perspectives. And I also realized how small topics in research are actually they're so big than what we actually think they are. And that has really opened up a lot of new things for me as well. I think the one thing I'll take back with me is patience, because while I did expect the research here to be fast-paced and thrilling, so many times the experiments don't go as you planned or things just don't work out. But you have to be patient to get through it and eventually get your results at the end.
The one thing I'll be taking with me is the courage to be wrong, I guess, because before, when I used to be wrong, I used to get offended about it or something, but now I just love being wrong and learning new things. Yeah, that actually opens a lot of opportunity for you.
One thing that I would take back is I want to you should go out and talk with people. If I hadn't left my room, I would probably not have made any friends and missed the many things that I did this summer.
One thing I definitely take back home are the beautiful scenes of this campus. I'll miss walking around it every day, and also the impeccable air quality of this place is something I'll definitely miss. Also, the math department has 5 turtles, and I'm definitely going to be missing them too.
I think RSI India is a melting pot of cultures, and although it's a bit of a cliche, I have to say I've met people here from all over India, and I think more than that, I've got to see new types of fashion and definitely new types of food here in Bangalore, and that's something I'm going to take away and I'm going to miss very, very much.
And on that note, the second edition of RSI India comes to a close. I wish all of you all the very best. And given that you guys are some of the brightest 16, 17-year-olds that I have met, I know that all of you are going to do a fantastic job in your lives. Good luck.